If you could describe your experience in the Shed Camp Club in 5 words or less, what would you say?
Probably motivation to practice.
Motivation to practice. Okay. Tell me more. What was your biggest takeaway from being in the club?
Just I just found that like, having the accountability every week. I don't want to show up on Saturday morning and not have at least done everything that I could, even if it was not correct and if it was, and I needed feedback with that. And I just was never like embarrassed or shy to fail or to do something that wasn't completely, if I heard it wrong but I didn't know, I wouldn't just like hold on to it for weeks on end, and that's why I was like one of the advocates to like everybody, that's why he called me the FBI agent, because I was like counting people like, what are you doing, what's happening, reach out to the coach, man, like that's why they're here. You're not paying to do this on your own,
Right.
like utilize all the tools that we have. Like why would you pay to do this and not do that, you
Yeah.
know
Big facts, man. So I'm curious, like, what would you say has changed about your playing since you
Oh,
joined?
I mean, just the routine of like practicing daily, working on specific things before I practice music or songs and everything, even if it's just, like right now I'm still doing the 1/1. I went through like, even though I ended at like phase 10 going into 11, like I made all the notations of 11 and 12 of the 1/1 so I could keep working on that stuff.
Mhm.
And I still just go and I do my 10 or 15-minute sections of like each workout.
Yeah.
Don't overdo something, and like get home from work, do it, go do something, get ready for dinner, come back, do the same one again, doing it multiple times, just repetitiveness, beating that muscle memory in.
Hmm.
And the biggest thing was, it was hard for me to notice necessarily because it's like you don't notice, but a friend of mine who I was playing music with before I took the 10-year hiatus that I was in bands with, he's in like the biggest band in this area, the most well-known band. And I sent him some, just little clips of me playing stuff. And like I had been sending him the progress of like the 6/2, and where I started at like 120 and now I'm at 180, pushing 200. He was like, holy man. He's like, so he showed like a pretty well-known singer in this town. Like they were trying to start a new band and he was showing him that. And now like they've recruited me to drum for that band. So I'm pretty stoked.
Wow. Wow.
So, I mean, it's pretty cool because he's always usually had two bands, and me and him were in bands for years and we grew up together. And he was like, dude, I've been talking you up to this guy because he's like, just the fact that you like prove that you have the dedication to do this for a year. Because he was blown away when I went to one of their record release parties last year on St. Patrick's Day, and he was like, you're in lessons, like for real lessons, like, and because he was just like, thinking it was like the same old stuff, that people like, oh yeah, I'm doing lessons, and then it is what it is. But I'm like, no, dude, I'm like, this is like accountability, structure.
Yeah.
You're not. I'm going to be doing the same thing possibly for weeks and weeks before I do another thing. And so he was pretty stoked, and I was
That's
pretty excited to.
incredible. Wait, so wait a minute. You mean to tell me you were sending him your progress as you were going along through the club, showing him the things
Well,
that you
just like randomly, because he was so in his band, he is a professional, like he is a very good lead guitar player. He also is one of the most incredible bass players, like, taught himself. And
Mhm.
so now in the band he's in, the lead drummer is also a singer and writes music. So when he has to come out and sing, Gary goes back and drums
Yeah.
and is as good or actually probably better of a drummer than their main drummer. When he sees something, he actually is looking at it from a professional drumming standpoint because he is a professional drummer. So to have him like be impressed, because me and him haven't drummed in a band for over 10 years.
Yeah.
And so he was just like, dude, like I see the progress. Is like, if you can put that commitment into this, to this new band, like I'm definitely putting you first on the list. So, and
And
I had a side project going on with him to drum for like some studio stuff, you know, which was kind of one of the reasons I was preparing for this, that he said it was something he'd work on. But now he wants me to like be in the band. And
Right.
he's already like, so
So when do you guys start rehearsing?
he's at, we're gonna have something going on here probably in the next week or so.
Got you.
So
Okay.
this all just happened in like the last week,
This is
like the
incredible.
last few days. So I was like, dude, I'm down.
This is
So
incredible. This is okay. What would you say to someone who was, considering a program like this or this program specifically, just like you were a year ago, right?
yeah.
And then but they're on the fence. They're not sure if they should do it. Would it be worth it? Like, what are these guys even legit? Like, what would you say to someone who's on the fence?
If you actually want to utilize every tool that is available, and it's vast, I mean, it's more than most people take advantage of. There, you can't go wrong. I mean, I already know you can't fail because I've struggled in, you know, in certain phases, and I reached out to you and Sticks and other people that in the cohort, you know, and just like had one-on-ones, like submitted stuff every day in the DMs, and which really made a huge difference. Just having that accessibility, you know, that if you actually want to succeed,
Yeah.
there is no reason that you won't. I've seen it. I've seen the people that didn't, only because they just stopped responding. But anyone that actually puts the effort in, I mean, you know, you saw them. I mean, you saw Mark and Deshandra. Even Deshandra kind of disappeared here and there, but you saw the ones that really, like, when they wanted to put in the effort. I
Yeah.
mean, I think James was one of the only other ones besides me that really was like absolutely every week. And
Yeah.
man, like I saw the crazy, like from where me and him were both struggling in the same phases to him, just like the acceleration really,
Yeah.
like I still go back to some of his videos that are like that I'd saved on YouTube that were
Yeah.
just like, man,
Yeah. It's
I
it's
love it, you know?
I really appreciate that sentiment, man. It's heartfelt, it's honest, it's true, right?
Yeah.
You're only gonna get the most out of this if you put, but on the other side of that is when you put everything, all you got into this, you actually practice, you do the work. As you said, we're gonna be there every step of the way, support you along,
Yeah.
make sure you get there. So, okay, cool.
I
I'm gonna
mean,
go
it's
ahead.
just trusting in the process is the main thing. Like you have to get over that hurdle, I think.
Yeah,
If you just trust the process and the format, I'm still using the same exact format every night. Like the full year, I think was the thing that was really beneficial, not just being like 30 days, because it really ingrains you in that process of like, this is what I'm doing every night, you know, 4, 5, 6 nights a week,
yeah,
even if it's only 15, 20, 30 minutes,
yeah.
and you'll see the progress.